How do you know that someone is jealous of you? And what are you doing? Jealousy is a natural feeling and we all have suffered from its consequences at some point in our lives. But jealousy in limits beyond normal may be dark and dangerous envy on both sides. Especially that jealousy of your person and what you own or do in your life. So we will give you signs that tell you that someone is jealous of you, and how to deal with this kind of jealousy and people who are jealous of you, who try to control your emotions, because they cannot control their emotions. Signs of jealousy of you. What are the signs that reveal to you, is someone jealous of you? There are many hidden signs that you should be aware of the presence of a person who is actually jealous of you, although the signs that we will address are signs of underlying jealousy of you. You should not consider it a fixed criterion for dealing with all those around you and through which to evaluate their jealousy. For example, if we consider the compliment as a sign of jealousy of your success, you cannot generalize it to all the people who praise you whenever you meet them. Let's talk about signs of jealousy of you without considering them as fixed rules for everyone we know, as you must rely on your intuition to know who loves you and who is really jealous of you. Fake praise. Anyone who is jealous of you will have no problem in public praising you, but once you go or turn your back, he will talk badly about you. And that is why praise in your absence and your positive criticism in your face may be a healthy sign of the other's love for you, so do not be tempted with much praise in your face, because he who is jealous will not tell you directly that he is jealous, instead pretending that he is proud of you. Therefore you are more able to detect false praise than sincere praise, because the latter reveals himself without introductions and you will feel it. Says psychologist Leon F. Seltzer, it is not difficult to be wary of the praise or flattery of others, it is only wise to consider whether they have an agenda hidden behind your praise in this way. As you can reduce the odds that their compliments, which seem trustworthy, no constitute a kind of two-sided trick. Anxiety about achieving success. The moment you achieve any success, someone who is jealous of you will try, underestimating that. He will do everything in his power to try to prove that your success was a coincidence and that it is not an important event in life, and the reason for doing so is that he does not have this kind of success to rely on and support his self-confidence in front of your success. Thus the only way in which it will happen to any satisfaction, the lie in convincing others that your success is unimportant because he desperately needs what you have. Show off his success. On the contrary, once someone who is envious of you has achieved any success, he will do everything in his power to show off, especially while celebrating your success, as he may be more inclined to show off his accomplishments while celebrating yours. The reason behind this is that he feels you are more important than him, so he has to try to break your success. So don't panic, because you are helping him to justify his behavior. Whoever is jealous of you imitates you. It is also a sign of flattery, because often someone who is jealous of you tries to do everything that you do. He will walk the same way, and try to wear clothes in the same way, and he may go beyond trying to speak your own way as well. This may be sometimes annoying, but the best thing you can do is accept this behavior. It is clear that whoever is envious of you, he believes that the way you follow in your life is a successful way, which does not harm you. Is it? Competitor, and he wants to prove that he is superior to others. This leads to the jealous person being very competitive, and you may believe that the competitive advantage is healthy, and of course you are correct if the result is friendly, but there is a jealous person who embarrasses others and feels proud of that, and there is nothing worse than the malicious winner. Psychologist Melanie Greenberg says, A jealous person is either insecure or arrogant and wants to prove his superiority. Jealous people celebrate when you fail, because they hate your success. It is natural for jealous people to feel overjoyed to watch you fail at something or make mistakes, and whoever is envious of you will never say that in your face, but deep down and in his secret he enjoys your failure, and this is illogical. If he's trying to imitate you so that you can achieve the same success you did. But he does not learn that making mistakes is an important part of life and learning, as a 2009 study showed that there are strong neural connections between gloating and envy, jealousy, so if you are not bothered by your failure, a jealous one will not have fun. So do not allow him the room for celebration, which is very simple, but start first. Thank you for the blessing of failure. Loves gossip and gossip. Very jealous pretends to be proud of you, as we said above, and as soon as you turn your back, he will try to target people who have a good relationship with you in order to speak badly of you, because he wants to have the same respect from these people, thus making an effort to destroy their respect for you, with negative comments about you that may include false rumors. I am sure that these criticisms and negativity are directed against you. It hasn't stopped you from reaching your goal, but it will definitely distract you for some time, and you know how valuable your time is. Does he hate you? Probably yes, perhaps without a reason for him to hate you. He may feel jealous, and unfortunately it is difficult to deal with this matter, because we often do not want to be hated or be hated for no reason. You may feel the need to show this person that you are loved, but you may fail in that is, so it is better to separate them from your life, as you do not need this negativity. Body language reveals those who are jealous of you. Do you know that those who cut their legs and forearms are in front of you, while you talk about your achievements? Maybe one of your jealous friends? According to body language, we will talk about it in independent articles. This person does not feel safe in front of your success, and that you give him an image that he wishes for himself, but he cannot achieve that. He may want to spoil your plans. This is also a sign where a person who is envious of you can give you bad advice while pretending to be providing you with a service, drawing your attention to some negative aspects in something you are planning. For example, you want to buy a piece of land or property. Even if you don't ask for his advice, he is bringing all the bad details to you about this scheme, even though deep down you have made the decision and know that this scheme is good for your future. Do you attract jealous people? How do you deal with jealous people in your life? If you are a person with an arrogant behavior or who is showing off any of your material or intellectual talents, you will not achieve anything through this behavior and you will not win any real friend. So it is time for some self-evaluation. But if you discover that you are the subject of jealousy or the envy of one of them, while you act normally without bragging, then you have the right to face it, and if there is some damage to your reputation or relationships, you have one of two options. 1. Hold your head high and ignore it. 2. Talk to anyone and everyone and tell them what's really going on, and it's just someone jealous gossip. We said you have the right to confront the person who is jealous of you a moment ago, but did you know that you have to deal with the jealous by talking to them directly? Only if the jealous person really interests you, and he is one of your close friends or even a member of your family or relatives. Unfortunately, we often experience cases of jealousy directed at us by the closest people in our lives, so you have to confront because this close and jealous person will always make you feel not to respect, be frustrated or badly about yourself, and here is how to deal with a friend or person close and jealous of you. Determine the pattern of jealousy. Before talking to your friend about jealousy, try to think and determine its pattern. When does his jealousy appear the most? If he criticizes you openly, it is an attempt to boost his self-confidence, and if he makes sensitive and negative comments after you talk about plans for your future, because he feels that his goals are not as clear as yours, and therefore he should demean your future goals, the result. Thinking about what motivates his jealous behaviors can help you, as well as recognize their pattern, to direct the live chat with him. Knowing the difference between jealousy, negativity, and depression, our emotional, mental, and physical health are linked to each other and drive our moods, actions and words as well. There may be more than what meets the eye, as recent studies indicate that individuals who suffer from depression find it difficult to distinguish between negative feelings, and you cannot know whether they are really jealous of you, because they cannot control their actions or comments naturally. Feelings of sadness or anger in them may appear as jealousy of you, as well, if your friend is constantly comparing himself to you, because he may struggle to manage his negative thoughts and get stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. Even though dealing with a negative or frustrated person can be difficult all the time, you must sympathize with him, because he is struggling. Before you raise the issue of his jealous behavior, ask your friend about the details of his life and whether he is upset at home, work, or his relationship, and think that he might face these personal challenges by acting jealous towards you. Then, remind him that you are always on his side to help or listen. As friends you should be together in difficult times. Nevertheless, if they display their negativity on you and frustrate you just because they are miserable, you have to rethink this relationship. Talk to your friend as soon as possible. Once you have an idea of the source of jealousy, talk to your friend as soon as possible and tell him how you feel, provided that your feelings do not involve anger or hatred. Be careful. It is important to enter the conversation calmly and openly, so that your friend does not feel threatened by the future of your friendship, and in order to react to your negative comments, says psychiatrist Irene Levine, take advantage of statements and assume that their intentions did not harm you. This conversation will open lines of communication between you and your friend for troubleshooting. If you're nervous in conversation, talking about jealousy can be difficult, but there are tips that Dr. Levine provides, to make the conversation as smooth and productive as possible. Make up your comments on jealousy politely. Instead of accusing him of envy, tell him that this negativity is important to you and hurts you, and make sure to clarify your concern about your friendship because of his behavior. Communicate your feelings clearly. Listen carefully, maintain eye contact with your friend, and don't interrupt his words in an attempt to see the subject from his point of view. Instead of rejecting his emotional response, check his feelings and say phrases such as, "I understand why you feel this way." If you encounter a problem with your friends justifying his behavior, be politely agree with him about your disagreement, and don't feel upset because you need to take some time away from a relationship, friendship, or breaking it. If communication and trying to change the situation does not lead anywhere and your friend continues to disrespect you, it is time to move forward, says Dr. Levine. Friendships are voluntary relationships that are supposed to be mutually satisfying. In the end, we all deserve friends who build us and help make us better people. So did anyone feel jealous of you? How do you know that? And what did you do? Please share your experience with us. For any inquiries or questions, add your comment. And don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification to receive all new